Today's topic for discussion is the topic of plant pathology, that is Phytophthora. Phytophthora, it is a fungus. Several species of Phytophthora causes very serious destructive diseases of crop plant and responsible for heavy losses of the crop. This Phytophthora pathogen that includes about 75 species, and most of them live as parasites on flowering plants, but some are able to live as saprophytes. Saprophytic fungus, that means that can grow on infected plant material in the soil, that can retain, that remains in the soil on dead organic, that is infected plant material. One of the common Indian species, that is Phytophthora infestans, is of a great economic importance because this pathogen causes late blight disease of potato. And this is one of the destructive disease which is commonly found in northern India. Other diseases by this fungus are Phytophthora palmivora, that causes bud rot disease of toddy palm, and which commonly occurs in southern India. The several species of the Phytophthora causes different types of diseases of economically important plants. Phytophthora cryptosia and Phytophthora megasperma causes tomato root rot disease and root rot of cauliflower respectively. Phytophthora araki is a frequent occurrence in Karnataka, causing rot disease of areca nut, that is supari plant. And Phytophthora meadi infects the rubber tree. Phytophthora colocasia occurs on colocasia plant. Phytophthora parasitica is another common species infecting castor seedlings, etc. Phytophthora dressleri causes blight disease of pigeon pea. There are several species of Phytophthora which causes diseases of plants. Let us see the mycelium of Phytophthora. The mycelium, it is the thallus of the fungus. Mycelium is branched, aseptate, hyaline, cenocytic. The aseptate hyphae of the fungus, they are called as cenocytic hyphae. And septa are formed in the old hyphae or in connection with the formation of the reproductive organs. Mycelium run in between the host cell, which is called intercellular mycelium. When the mycelium occurs between the host cell, that is known as intercellular mycelium. And the fungus gets food from the host by sending haustoria. Haustoria, these are food-sucking organs which are produced by the intercellular hyphae of Phytophthora, and these structures are penetrated into the host cells for absorption of the food. Haustoria in case of Phytophthora colocaceae are cylinder and unbranched or form a club-shaped or rounded bodies. Haustoria commonly occur in the infected parts of the tubers, and this is reported from Phytophthora infestans. It has seen in the Phytophthora infestans. How the fungus reproduce? These are the haustoria. They are penetrated into the host cell in the photograph, and the haustoria are produced by the intercellular hyphae for absorption of the food material. Let us see the asexual reproduction in Phytophthora. Asexual reproduction takes place by formation of sporangia. Sporangia are small bag-like structures which are produced on a special or aerial reproductive hyphae which are known as sporangiophores. In moist weather, groups of sporangiophore aggregate at the region of stroma and push their way out through it. The sporangiophores comes out through the stomata and they come out through the lenticels as well and even through the injured portion on the potato tubers, etc. Sporangiophores are freely branched and bear sporangia at their tip, as shown in the photograph. But later the branch bearing the sporangium continues to grow just below it, and hence the terminal position of sporangium becomes shifted to lateral position. Sporangium is a bag-like structure, or it is lemon-shaped structure. It has a small beak-like structure at its tip, and that beak-like structure is known as apical papilla. And sporangium is formed by the enlargement of the tip of the branch of sporangiophore. Sporangium is multinucleate structure and that consists of many nuclei. The mature sporangium has a small stalk with a hyaline, oval or elliptical spore sac with a apical papilla. These are detached by wind or raindrops. If the sporangium fall on the suitable host, the condition in presence of suitable environmental condition, it starts germinating. One of the important factors governing the germination is moisture content. Temperature also plays an important role in its germination. Higher temperature includes germ tube formation, whereas low temperature induces zoospore formation. During zoospore formation, the uninucleate protoplasts develop flagella and become zoospores. These are reniform. The zoospores are kidney-shaped or reniform structures with two lateral flagella, and no vesicle is formed in Phytophthora. After a period of activity, zoospores lose their flagella, round off, and soon develop a germ tube which enters the host through stomata. Inside the host, the germ tube develops into a mycelium which is intercellular. At higher temperature up to 24 degrees Celsius, sporangium behaves like a conidium and germinates by putting forth a short germ tube. Hence, the germination in this case is called direct. Okay, this is all about asexual reproduction by formation of zoospores in sporangia. Okay, let us see the sexual reproduction in Phytophthora. Sexual reproduction takes place in Phytophthora. It is of oogamous type. The male sex organ of Phytophthora is known as antheridium and the female sex organ is known as ogonium. The Phytophthora infestans have been shown to be heterothallic. How is the ogonium or female gamete? Let us see. Ogonium arises laterally on the hypha from the other strain. The tip of the female branch enlarges into a spherical swelling. A small septum separates ogonium from the rest of the hypha. The protoplasm of ogonium becomes differentiated into outer multinucleate periplasm and a central uninucleate ooplasm. The central nucleus divides again to form two daughter nuclei. One of these degenerates and the other survives to function as egg nucleus. The nuclei in the periplasm degenerate. Hence, at maturity, a single egg nucleus is present at the center of ogonium or female gamete of Phytophthora. Let us see how is the male gamete. The male gamete of Phytophthora is also known as antheridium. Antheridium appears earlier than the ogonium as a swelling of the hypha. The swelling of hypha takes place and antheridium is developed. It may be laterally or intercalary or terminal in position. And this antheridium, it consists of many nuclei, and after fusion it develops that fuse with the female gamete. The procedure is known as fertilization. Fusion of antheridium and ogonium is known as fertilization. Antheridium during fertilization sends out a small fertilization tube through the receptive spot. Fertilization tube penetrates the ogonial wall and enters the ooplasm. Here the tip of the fertilization tube opens and delivers the male nucleus and some cytoplasm. The male nucleus fuses with the female nucleus to form a diploid zygote. This secretes a firm wall or thick wall around it, and this zygote is also known as oospore. Oospores formation is not frequently observed in nature, but their formation is noticed in cultures. Let us see how the oospore germinate. Oospore, it is a diploid structure. Germination of oospore has been well studied by probably it germinates by the formation of germ tube as in Phytophthora cactorum. In Phytophthora palmivora, the germ tube bears a terminal zoosporangium which produces zoospores in the usual manner. And some plant pathologists reported the germination of oospore of the terminal sporangium is directly by formation of germ tube. This is all about the life cycle of Phytophthora, which is a very important plant pathogenic organism. It causes several important diseases of plants. Thank you very much. Save trees,